This is the iconic dragon kick from Karate Kid Legends. But the filmmakers actually made up that name for the move. You might not know it, but there's a community of thousands of athletes all around the world who would tell you that this move is actually the shuriken cutter. The shuriken cutter is one of tricking's most famous tricks because it represents a core pillar of what makes tricking unique. It combines a flip, kick, and a twist all together into one single fluid motion. Tricking came to fruition in the early 90s competitive martial arts scene, when athletes would play around on the side in their free time and invent new tricks to include in their routines. As the years went on, they found crazier and crazier ways to move, borrowing elements from gymnastics, parkour, breaking, and even video games. So let's get back to that iconic shuriken cutter and break down what's really happening here. A shuriken cutter combines a flip with 1.5 rotations while executing 2 crescent kicks with the same leg. And most trickers do this off of one leg. Crazy. In the beginning of tricking, the corkscrew was one of its first signature tricks. This is an off-axis backflip with 360 degrees of rotation before landing. And as trickers became proficient at them, they found new ways to make it harder, by changing the shape of it, by adding more twists, or both. The shuriken cutter adds an additional half rotation to the cork, landing on the opposite leg. This gives the trigger just enough time to initiate 2 kicks, one as they enter the twist for the cork, and one as they exit their twist. But what I think makes the shuriken cutter so iconic is that these 2 kicks aren't segmented. It's rather one continuous motion all the way through, actually like a shuriken. By the 2000s, tricking was not just martial arts anymore. It had become its own unique sport, born out of a seamless fusion of all of these movements. It was a new display of athleticism and creativity, and trickers started hosting tournaments all around the world to see who was best. It was just as cool to watch as it felt doing those tricks, and Hollywood thought so too. Tricking found its way into movies and television, not just in movements, but trickers themselves forged a path to making a career from practicing these crazy flips. Early legends of tricking such as Jeremy Marinas, Daniel Graham, and Anish Sherfa consistently showcased flawless tricks as stunt doubles and fight coordinators, and having this representation was awesome. We began to see way more tricks in movies, such as in Tron, Avengers, and more. There was just one problem. While these men and women were pouring their souls into stunts, tricking entered a period of exponential growth. The shuriken cutter, what was once a difficult move only the best trickers could do, had actually become quite popular. It was one of the most used tricks in competition, and some had even taken it one step further, adding one more kick and one more twist, dubbing the move the shuriken. The gap between what was being shown on screen representing tricking and what modern athletes were doing grew. All of this changed, however, this year in 2025. When Karate Kid Legends was released in May of 2025, it sent trickers into a frenzy. Dubbed the Dragon Kick, the shuriken cutter had become the protagonist Li Fang's main finishing move, replacing the original finishing move, the crane kick. And we trickers took every advantage of that hype. Hundreds of stories and posts flooded Instagram, all jumping on the Dragon Kick train, racking up hundreds and thousands of views. If you search Dragon Kick on YouTube, more clips of tricking come up than actual clips of the movie. And seeing this made me realize something. The shuriken cutter in Karate Kid Legends was different. This was the first time that a semi-modern tricking move was performed on the big screen, and it was front and center. It appears in the movie multiple times in slow-mo, full speed, and various angles. Promotional materials highlights it, and the stuntmen who performed the tricks in these movies are trickers that still to this day attend tricking events around the world and actively still train. It seems we've reached a point where modern tricking movements are actually being highlighted rather than hidden in movies, and I think we need to recognize that. We can do the movements that animators dream up. We can do the movements that 30 years ago required wires and special crash mats to perform, all without breaking a sweat. To all the trickers watching that have posted about the Dragon Kick, know that you're making a huge difference on the visibility of tricking. But I think we should also be thinking of new ways to leverage this opportunity than just posting about it. Perhaps by reframing tricking classes to show kids that they can do moves that they see in cartoons and movies. What if we taught how to Dragon Kick seminars at local karate schools to get kids hyped? If I saw an ad as a kid that said learn how to be a Power Ranger, I would have signed up in an instant. And I know a lot of you guys would have too. So lastly, to all of those out there that are hearing about tricking for the first time, yeah, the stuff you see in movies is real, and it's not actually as hard as you might think. There's a ton of online resources out there if you yourself are interested in kicking, flipping, and twisting. There's a community of amazing people out there dedicating their lives to this sport, and even crazy competitions happening probably right under your nose. So take it from me, somebody who has spent the last 12 years part of this amazing sport. Go out there, try it out, and maybe you can become a real-life karate kid.
Hey, how's it going? Hope you enjoyed the video. So I'm just here to remind you that we have our event coming up, Vertigo 7. It's one of the world's largest tricking competitions, and it takes place in East Brunswick, New Jersey. So if you're free September 18th to the 21st, come through. It's gonna be an awesome time. See you there.